Really going live? Oh, snap. Can you bring me my phone? Well, last time there was a countdown. You gotta do it right. Hello. Hello. So I can keep up over here, right? Let me get my stuff together. For some me. View channel. There I am. And there I am again. Okay, I'll turn that down. I did it! You see, the other half of me is at work. How y'all doing?
Hi, guys.
It's only a countdown when it's a premiere. This is a live.
I swear I am Googling things for you guys. I am not just sitting here texting and
Fun
being
fact.
rude.
I wrote down all these Bible verses to go into the watchers and everything. We can't find our family Bible. It's in the room of junk. We couldn't find it.
Nope, she sent me to the dollar store to get one.
She'll be like Googling that for me so we can tell you the Bible verses. Unique howdy.
Fortunately, there's only
two. No, there's several. So you want to let me do my Gilgamesh first? Or do you want to do yours first?
You gotta... Well, first of all, perhaps we should present our thesis statement.
We have a thesis statement for you.
Well, today's topic, my friends, is giants.
Not us.
Not us. No, not us. I'm 6 foot. That's as much as I'm willing to admit to. I guess. Hey, Pooh, is my voice deep? You said tall people tend to have deep voices. You wondered.
Pooh's not there.
Well, he can hear it later. I'm just curious.
When people call here and I answer the phone, they think I'm a man, and I get really mad about it. I mean, just really mad. Just leave me alone. Hang up the phone, kind of mad. Anyway, so here we go. Giants.
All right. So, I guess to start this off, we have to go into this. There exists a branch of archaeology that operates somewhat outside of the normal scientific circles, and whose ideas and theories are often dismissed as pseudoscience, or, even worse, outright fabrication. As such, this particular flavor of archaeology is dubbed... You ready for this? It's a great forbidden archaeology.
Yes. Forbidden.
And it is characterized by the finding of certain artifacts and theories put forward that are generally dismissed amongst your more mainstream scientists and historians. Dismissed as flukes, mere coincidence, or outright hoaxes. These artifacts and theories seem to offer an alternative narrative to the ones set forth in history books, challenging our long-held beliefs about our part, about the people that came before us, and perhaps people all over the world were seeing the same. Sorry, guys. and thus we begin. Sorry, guys. I was so prepared for this, I swear. One such theory speculates on the existence of giants. Giants. Do I need to define giants?
No.
Extremely tall humans. Anyway, they may have walked upon this earth since before the appearance of Homo sapiens. That's us. That's us. Not giants. That's not us. These giants were said to have lived all across the world, with tales of them told and retold. Cat?
It was a cat.
By people from Asia to South America, and all of the tales bear striking similarities, one to another, so that one cannot help but wonder if perhaps all these people all over the world were perhaps seeing the same thing.
Were they seeing the same thing?
These These giants of old are said to have been the makers of many monolithic structures found on almost every continent. And they were said to be aggressive towards us smaller humans.
Cannibals, even.
Tales of war, death, and cannibalism litter the entire mythology of giants.
You done with that now?
And thus we begin.
That was our intro. Okay, where are we going to start? You going to
start?
start?
I spent a long time writing that, and then I totally
Let me start.
it. You start. It's your show. I'm just like the supporting cast. Think of me as the chick that holds up like the numbers at the end of the wrestling round.
So, it makes sense to talk about the ones that are in the Bible, right? The Watchers, the Nephillim, the fallen angels, making love to the daughters of men. And does it follow that angels are only men? That got me thinking about that. Anyway, why was it only? Anyway, so that's why we had the flood, right? So I looked up Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh and Noah. Gilgamesh, the first flood story, his companion Enkidu, the monstrous guardian whom Baba is considered a giant or even an ogre. These are people in the Gilgamesh story. I don't know the Gilgamesh story. I didn't go that far.
It's a really long epic. Basically, we're focusing on the flood epic. Yeah. Think of Gilgamesh as Noah. Anyway, Gilgamesh is Noah.
Gilgamesh is mentioned in the Qumran. Besides lack of archaeological evidence, ancient texts often exaggerate size and strength to signal heroism and divinity. So there's not been any actual giants found that have anything to do with the Bible or the Gilgamesh saga. I find it interesting in that all these different beliefs of people from all over the world have a version of the flood. They have a version of a savior of the flood, and then they have an aftermath, and that's why I looked up Gilgamesh. The Book of Enoch is supposed to, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the book that they left out, it was meant to be a better pre-flood explanation. Some scholars also believe that Nimrod might be Gilgamesh, and Nimrod is Noah's grandson. So these two tales were from, two different kind of cultures, but they all talked about the same thing, right? I'm not doing very good. I don't think we're doing very good.
No, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. Well, Peach says that Gilgamesh is not, in fact, Noah. No, he is not. Perhaps that's a bit misleading of me to say that.
Some scholars believe Nimrod might be Gilgamesh's is Noah's grandson.
But
yes. I don't know.
I say that Gilgamesh is Noah in that he built an ark, big boat to escape a flood.
Somebody told him, the gods told him to build his ark.
So, for his own story, yes, Gilgamesh is in fact Noah, in his own way.
But he's
not.
His flood only lasted 6 days, whereas Noah's was it 361 or 371 days. I know it rained for 40 days, but the waters and them floating around, that's what I'm talking about, lasting for 300 and some odd days. Gilgamesh was only 6 days. I wonder, because we're going to tell you, there's stories from giants all over the world, different times, was it a worldwide flood in the Bible? Because if it wasn't, then that would explain the presence of giants after the times of the Bible, right? And it also explains different cultures having their own flood too. I find it hard to believe that the entire world was covered with water, because how do you come back from that? All that water would just create more water, and it just would never go away. It would just rain and rain and rain and rain. I would think, like lake effect.
Nimrod is Noah's grandson. Enoch is his grandfather.
The Ethiopian Bible has all the books.
I've heard that actually, yeah. The Ethiopian Bible includes like all the agnostic texts. Is that what they call them? The ones that aren't actually in the... Yeah, agnostic, I think that's the word. Including many of the Dead Sea Scrolls.
The Gilgamesh tale is polytheistic, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Noah is monotheistic.
Yeah.
So how does that jive with, Gilgamesh being... Was he just a heathen? Noah's grandson? Was he just a heathen? Anyway, that was what I wanted to discuss with y'all. Worldwide, was the flood worldwide, or was it regional to the people in the Bible? And I've never understood why, it's like the Mormons. They say, oh, Jesus came here and talked to, the Mormons. Anyway, that there was people all over the planet, right? Because we have evidence of that.
It does seem as though there was a worldwide flood, because literally everyone says there was a flood.
But I don't know if it was at the same time, is my point. At the same time, worldwide. I don't know.
At the same damn time.
Covered the earth.
Now, I have heard theory, and this is mostly amongst religious circles, about a water canopy that supposedly enclosed the entire atmosphere of Earth. This water canopy being really thick, and it kind of created a greenhouse effect, trapping all the heat and the radiation inside. So as a result, everything grew massive, and they had really long lifespan. We're talking butterflies that are as big as airplanes and shit. Maybe I'm exaggerating just a little, but maybe I'm not.
Also, the fallen angels coming down to daughters of men, kind of, that bothers me, because then they wiped out the offspring of those things,
Yeah, that was what the flood was meant to do, was wipe out the Nephillim.
Right.
Who were said to be the daughter.
Did they for sure get them all too?
Of women and angels.
Look, it's a rough punishment on them. I mean, they didn't really ask to be born,
It is, but according to the stories,
extinction level event.
Even the native tales always say these giants were cannibalistic and very aggressive.
Okay.
Apparently
these are the Bible verses that we have to look up for if we're going to look up the Nephilim and the giants. So
I've got the two that mention the Nephilim.
Okay. Read them up for us.
That's a lot to look up, though.
Most of them are just single verses.
The first mention of the Nephilim is in Genesis 6:4. And the Nephilim were on the earth in those days,
Sarah.
and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown.
Men of renown. Heroes of old.
Mm-hmm. Heroes of old.
Okay. Numbers 13:33.
And there we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come from the Nephilim. And we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them. So that's just giving you a relative idea of the size of the Nephilim compared to normal men.
They were in the promised land.
Although, if you ask me, people read that a little too literally. Because maybe they meant we seemed as grasshoppers, we seemed a plague, insignificant.
Hey, knock it off.
No.
I have dogs, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, Deuteronomy 2:10-11.
If you'd have...
This is about Imam and Zamzuman. 2:10-11.
Okay. The Emims dwelt therein in times past, a people great and many, and tall as the Anakims.
That was it. Just describing.
Yeah, 2:10 and 2:11, that's 2 lines.
In Joshua, they further describe fighting the Anakim, and in Samuel, it's the killing of Goliath. Actually, he killed a clan of I think it was the Goliath family. I don't know. And I heard that he didn't really kill Goliath; he killed his brother. or maybe kill them both at different times.
This
Anyway,
sounds like some like water cooler talk at work.
killing of Goliath's brothers was in Samuel, and then in Chronicles it recounts the killing of Goliath and other giants. And then in the New Testament, it just talks about the past killing of. So, in terms of the Bible, there's no more giants after the Old Testament. Okay.
But they are treated as a foregone conclusion. Like, it's universal knowledge. Giants were here. They happened. They were dealing with them. And they act as though we're supposed to just know this.
Pete said a meteor struck the ice in Canada. There were volcanic eruptions and tsunamis all over the world. It wasn't simply rain.
Yeah.
That checks out.
The water canopy theory said that it was a meteorite or maybe a planet, like Nibiru, that got too close and it triggered like the sudden fall of the water canopy, triggering like a massive like
That
rainstorm.
really neatly explains.
It does
a
really
deluge
neatly
of
explain
rain.
it. The thing is, though, this is mostly like reported by like religious scientists, so they're kind of biased and askew.
It doesn't mean you're wrong.
It doesn't mean they're wrong. It is just a theory.
And Pete said the Nephilim were so large they ate everything, even people.
That checks out. That's like the Wendigo myth.
The Indians will tell us about that. They were
had
cannibals.
They had a myth of a giant cannibal called the Wendigo, and he would possess people and make them eat people too.
Because, see, I have a King James Bible. And, after you watch The Crown and all those religious type miniseries and study a little history, then you understand King James was kind of a wild man.
Yeah.
So why did he get to make a Bible? And why do we all run around reading it?
He was really interested in like religious shit and demons. I am so sorry. My bad.
I was gonna slap.
Well,
Nibiru's gone. Planet X is still there.
Or is Planet X Nibiru, guys? How do you know it's not Nibiru?
All right. That pretty much.
That pretty much sums up giants in the Bible.
Enoch elaborates on the Watchers. The Apostle of Jude quotes the Book of Enoch. And the Book of Giants is also in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Thought that was interesting.
Hmm.
They got their own book.
Everybody got their own book these days. That don't mean nothing. Kim Kardashian has a book.
Yeah, Pete, I can't wait to do Wendigo or, Bigfoot type.
Yeah.
My husband actually saw one. And then I have size 13 feet in women's. Not that you can really find them that look like women's shoes. And they have to be wide. So I get called Bigfoot all the time. All the time. So that is my... And if I could have read all the Bible verses, it would have meant more. But I don't know where my Bible is. And I just took it for granted it's going to be on. I got a bookshelf in there, right?
That sounds really bad.
It's not on there.
We some pagans up in here.
Hey, no, we're not.
We
are not. Now listen.
Bible is.
We are not. We just like to talk about weird things. Now, let's start talking about your giants of North America first.
All right, the giants of North America. All right, throughout the continent, the various native tribes in their oral history speak of a race of pale-skinned and often red-haired giants that apparently had built their huge mounds and sprawling cities long before the first of the tribes arrived. These giants were described as huge, with 6 fingers and toes on each appendage and double rows of teeth.
Let me interrupt real quick. Double rows of teeth. When I went to have my wisdom teeth taken out, I had 2 extra wisdom teeth up on the top. That's not a double row tooth.
Stop it.
That's a fun fact.
Mm-mm. Don't give them fuel for the fire. Just leave it be.
I was just saying.
Give them the stick to beat you with, man.
6 wisdom teeth. 6.
6.
Kim Kardashian. What?
Well, you said...
What?
You said something about the giants having their own book, and I said, well, that don't mean nothing. Everybody has a book. Even Kim Kardashian got a book.
Oh. Yeah.
Kin.
Here we go now.
Get with it.
Get back with you.
I'm down with the kids.
Go back to your reads.
All right. In every one of these old tales, the giants were said to have been an aggressive and violent culture, making war on the native tribes who settled near them, and even engaging in cannibalism against their neighbors. Everybody knows it's not polite to engage in cannibalism against your neighbors. I don't know why I put it like that. That makes it sound funny.
Did you say they like the thigh meat?
Yeah, there were there was one tribe that their word for them meant the thigh eaters.
The thigh eaters.
And I said, that makes sense. Because if I was going to eat someone, I think I would start with the thigh. You know, like the inner thigh. Maybe just the whole thigh. Make like a roast out of it.
Nice roast. Bone in.
I bet that would fall off the bone, you know? Give it a nice
Bone
braise. This is the thing. I'd resort to cannibalism way too quickly in a survival situation. I'd be Wendigo.
You can eat me. All right.
I would say I was possessed by a Wendigo too. Not that I just wanted to eat you and see what it tasted like. Anyway. Eventually, the natives got sick of it. And they decided to rise up against these giants, pushing them further and further westward. That was a predominant theme in every tribe's
West. That's west behind
mythology, was that they fought these giants and they just kept pushing them back and pushing them onward until finally we come to the Paiutes. They didn't push them west. They had a more creative solution in mind. What the Paiutes did was they drove them into this cave on the edge of what used to be a rather large lake. It's dried up now, but at the time it was a lake. They cornered this giant tribe inside of this cave, and they lit a fire at the mouth of the cave. And those giants that did not suffocate burned to death. Not much of a choice.
Yeah. Then they plugged it up, didn't they?
And that was supposedly the end of the giants. No, they did not plug it up. They didn't.
Well, they have now.
It's not plugged up now. You can still go in there. They've in fact built little platforms for tourists if you guys want to go, but you know, guano.
That is really creepy.
It is creepy. And supposedly
was that like the last family of them? Like
that was
clan?
Like supposedly the last tribe of red-haired giants, according to the Paiute tradition. Now, who's to say some didn't flee into Canada? They might still be there.
The story I saw said that there was an expedition in like the 1800s, and this guy found.
I have that article.
Oh, okay.
Don't bear.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hushity hush. We need the viewing time.
Shut up. I know. Shut up.
So that's North America. And as far as Europe and Asia go, all across Europe and Asia, there exist tales of races of giants who were responsible for building colossal monolithic structures from blocks too impossibly large for any means available to men to budge. For instance, the Fomorians of Celtic mythology were said to have been the first inhabitants of Ireland before they were overthrown by the Tuatha De Danann.
Tuatha De Danann.
That was a gamble, and it paid off. Thank you. And then we come to the Jotar of Nordic myth, who were the firstborn beings. They existed before the gods, at least until the gods came around, Odin and his brothers, who were sometimes all amalgamated into one being. But they supposedly killed the first giant, Ymir. Is that how you say it? Ymir?
We killed the first one.
And he became the earth as we know it. Midgard, if you will. And the rest of the race continued to exist as enemies of the gods. Supposedly they fight against them at Ragnarok. And then we come to the Gigantes of ancient Greece. These were a race of ancient Greek giants who were outraged by the overthrow of Kronos by Zeus.
Outraged!
Kronos was their father, and he had actually freed them. Oh, no, my bad. He was their brother. And he had freed them from being imprisoned by his father, Uranus. Go ahead. I'm not going to do that Uranus stuff. I don't believe in it. It's Uranus.
She said, "12 diddy who?
Anyway,
12 diddy who?"
so, anyway, Kronos was the giant savior. So, needless to say, when Zeus decided to overthrow Big Papa, the giants rose up righteous against the Olympians in a great epic known as the Gigantomachy. But of course, they were defeated and eventually cast down to Tartarus with Kronos.
Excuse me while I tell him to be quiet.
And then, of course, we all know the tales of Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack the Giant Killer from English folklore. You know, little
Jack
man
the
decides to
Beanstalk.
outwit the giants.
I had kind of forgotten about him until
Yeah.
the last minute. I was like, man, we forgot Jack and the Beanstalk.
I did too, and I kind of scribbled down a little note.
So, like, what? Who wrote it? Where did it come from?
It's an old folk tale. He was supposedly one of King Arthur's court, I think, was the original telling.
The giant?
Jack.
Oh.
But he always beats the giant through some sort of, like, I'm going to say sucker punch. You know what I mean?
There's different versions of that story. I do know
He sneaks around. And he's like a thief and a sneaky guy. He's not really like the most honorable of men, but because he defeated the giants, like they were all like, "Yay, Jack!" Jack's a scoundrel.
Then I read about this theory a little while ago on Google about these people that think giants weren't ever. There might have been like 7 or 8 foot tall people, but the stories of like Gilgamesh was supposed to be 18 stories, and the little tablets are 18 feet tall. 18 stories. Oh my god! Wow, that'd be really large. Yeah, they don't think they're really that tall. They wouldn't be able to move around. They said a person that tall, like 20 foot tall.
I am.
Going for your articles?
Yes. Bible Gateway. That's not it. I have like
We are getting a laptop. It's going to be so fancy then.
It's gonna be so fancy.
Fancy.
Get us
High
a
tech.
laptop.
Go get it.
Where, you may ask, is the historical evidence? for
Where's the
existence
evidence?
Of giants.
Peach knows where it's at. Shh.
Well, I have here 3 separate articles from 3 different states, each detailing the discovery of giant skeletons. And each of these articles has a character in common. And that would be the Smithsonian. Okay.
Did you ever watch Percy Jackson?
And the Olympians? Yeah.
Unique
I read
said
the books.
that knowledge is coming in handy for her.
Yeah, man.
That's
Percy
funny.
Jackson, man. You read the pop culture stuff, it'll get you out of a lot of danger.
Up to a mile tall.
I have here 3 articles from 3 different states. I narrowed it down to 3. There exists a lot of these articles online, guys. Seriously, Google giant skeletons discovered and literally type in a state. Pick a state. I don't care which state you pick, you're going to find something. I promise you. We're starting with our turf, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
This is from the Oklahoman.
Which is still a newspaper.
It is still a newspaper, but this article, May 24th, 1937.
1937.
6 giant skeletons of a strange tribe of Indians, more than 7 feet tall, have been uncovered along the Washita River, near Pauls Valley in south-central Oklahoma. Dr. Forrest E. Clements, head of the anthropology department of the
That's
University
just south of
Oklahoma,
us.
disclosed today. The skeletons are well preserved, and Dr. Clements believes the find might lead to the discovery of a race of Indians whose existence has been unknown to anthropologists. He estimated the race existed 750 years ago.
Just 750 years ago?
Yeah. They were kind of lowballing on time periods then. So that was in Oklahoma.
Unique said she used to be a librarian. Yes, Clash of the Titans. The old version
Yeah, the old one.
with the owl.
Not the new one where they leave the owl behind.
Yeah.
That offended me in the new Clash
Fubo.
of the Titans. They picked him up and said, "What's this?" And then
Harry
put it down.
Hamlin. Harry Hamlin's in that.
Harry Hamlin.
My husband's Harry Hamlin.
Jackie Cox.
That woman. No, her name's not Jack.
Jackie Cox did the Lisa Rinna impression. Yes,
RuPaul. She quotes RuPaul all the time.
I do. I love drag queens. I have an unreasonable love of drag queens.
He said the Indian mounds.
Yeah, the Indian mounds. That's why I picked Oklahoma, because, specifically speaking, these giants, according to the natives, were responsible for building the mounds way back when.
And I've done research on those mounds because, there's this road that runs basically east to west coast. It used to be called the Butterfield Stagecoach Road, and then it became Old Wire Road for the telegraph line. Well, that was built on, an ancient Indian highway, if you will, that stretched from the East Coast all the way to Oklahoma and further. And one of the points on that highway was in Poteau, or the Spiral Mounds. So, yeah, let's tie that into that.
The Spiral Mounds are located in far eastern Oklahoma, near the Arkansas border.
And I guarantee the Native Americans of that time, more recent times, didn't make that either. Because, if you're a deer hunter or you watch cows, they'll follow the same paths, barring, seismic shifts in landscape, they're going to take the same paths. So, and the Trail of Tears went right down Butterfield and Old Wire Road, and the branches of such, Okay, I'm done talking about that. I just thought it was a neat tie-in.
Oh, you made me close my little thing.
Because it went straight to the mounds.
Our next article comes from Ohio, from the Toledo Gazette, April 7th, 1904. So this is another vintage one. A giant skeleton of a man has been unearthed on the Wolverton Farm, a short distance from Tippecanoe City. It measures 8 feet from the top of the leg to the ankles, the feet being missing.
Tippecanoe. That's something in history. What was that saying they made us? It was like a campaign slogan or something. Tippecanoe, librarian woman. Unique. Tippecanoe buff. Anybody? Sarah.
Can I finish the article?
Yeah, you can. Tippecanoe. I just wanted to see if it was the same word.
The skull is large enough to fit as a helmet over the average man's head.
Those mounds are really old.
The skeleton was one of 7
They were already there.
Buried in a circle, their feet being pointed toward the center.
Yes, Sarah.
Crude implements were near. The skeletons are thought to be those of mound builders.
Mound builders.
And our final article, brace yourself, guys. Are you guys sitting down? Because this one's kind of long and drawn out. Should I take the Cliff's Notes from it? All right.
We're doing great on time. We're doing really fast.
Mysteries of immense high cavern being brought to light, from the Arizona Gazette of April 5th, 1909.
Erica what?
The Arizona Gazette. Nobody said anything about Erica.
Okay. Tippecanoe and Tyler,
the latest news of the progress of the explorations of what is now regarded by scientists as not only the oldest archaeological discovery in the United States, but one of the most valuable in the world, which was mentioned some time ago in the Gazette, was brought to the city yesterday by G.E. Kincaid, the explorer who found the great underground citadel of the Grand Canyon during a trip from Green
River,
I was telling you Wyoming, down the Colorado in a wooden boat to Yuma several months ago. According to the story related to the Gazette by Mr. Kincaid, the archaeologists of the Smithsonian, which is financing the expeditions, have made discoveries which almost conclusively prove that the race who inhabited this mysterious cavern, hewn in solid rock by human hands, was of Oriental origin, possibly from Egypt, tracing back to Ramses. If their theories are borne out by the translation of the tablets engraved with hieroglyphics, the mystery of the prehistoric peoples of North America, their ancient arts, who they were and whence they came, will be solved. Egypt and the Nile and Arizona and the Colorado will be linked by a historical chain running back to ages which staggers the wildest fancy of the fictionists. A thorough examination under the direction of Professor S.A. Jordan, the Smithsonian Institute is now prosecuting the most thorough explorations, which will be continued until the last link in the chain is forged. Nearly a mile underground, about 1,480 feet below the surface, a long main passage has been delved into to find another mammoth chamber, from which radiates scores of passageways like the spokes of a wheel. Several hundred rooms have been discovered, reached by passageways running from the main passage, one of them having been explored for 854 feet and another 634 feet. The recent finds include articles which have never been known as native to this country, and doubtless they had their origin in the Orient. War weapons, copper instruments, sharp-edged and hard as steel, indicate the high state of civilization reached by these strange people. So interested have the scientists become that preparations are being made to equip the camp for extensive studies, and the force will be increased to 30 or 40 persons. Mr. Kincaid was the first white child born in Idaho and has been an explorer and hunter all his life. 30 years of having been in the service of the Smithsonian Institute. Even briefly recounted, his history sounds fabulous, almost grotesque. First, I would impress that the cavern is nearly inaccessible. The entrance is 1,486 feet down the sheer canyon wall. It is located on government land and no visitor will be allowed there under penalty of trespass. The scientists wish to work unmolested, without fear of archaeological discoveries being disturbed by curio or relic hunters. A trip there would be fruitless and the visitor would be sent on his way. The story of I found the cavern has been related but in a paragraph. I was journeying down the Colorado River in a boat alone looking for mineral. Some 42 miles up the river from the El Tobar Crystal Canyon, I saw on the east wall stains in the sedimentary formation about 2,000 feet above the riverbed. There was no trail to this point, but I finally reached it with great difficulty. Above a shelf which hid it from view from the river was the mouth of the cave. There are steps leading from this entrance some 30 yards to what was, at the time the cavern was inhabited, the level of the river. When I saw the chisel marks on the wall inside the entrance, I became interested, securing my gun and went in. During that trip, I went back several hundred feet along the main passage till I came to the crypt, in which I discovered the mummies. One of these I stood up and photographed by flashlight. I gathered a number of relics, which I carried down the Colorado to Yuma, from whence I shipped them to Washington, with details of the discovery. Following this, the explorations were undertaken. The main passageway is about 12 feet wide, narrowing to 9 feet toward the further end. About 57 feet from the entrance, the first side passages branch off to the right and left, along which, on both sides...
I am so sorry, guys. He just won't. I've told him 3 times I'm on a live. I don't know if he started getting my messages. He is driving me insane. I have it on Do Not Disturb. I don't understand the science of why it's ringing. Continue. I'm so sorry.
About 57 feet from the entrance, the first side passages branch off to the right and to the left, along which, on both sides, are a number of rooms about the size of ordinary living rooms of today, though some are 30 by 40 feet square. These are entered by oval-shaped doors and are ventilated by round air spaces through the walls into the passages. The walls are about 3 feet 6 inches in thickness. The passages are chiseled or hewn as straight as could be laid out by an engineer. The ceilings of many of the rooms converge to a center. The side passages near the entrance run at a sharp angle from the main hall, but toward the rear they gradually reach a right angle in direction. Over 100 feet from the entrance is the cross hall, several hundred feet long, in which are found the idol or image of the people's god, sitting cross-legged with a lotus flower or lily in each hand. The cast of the face is oriental and the carving this cavern. The idol almost represents Buddha, though the scientists are not certain as to what religious worship it represents. Taking into consideration everything found thus far, it is possible that this worship most resembles the ancient people of Tibet. Surrounding this idol are smaller images, some very beautiful in form, others crooked-necked and distorted shapes, symbolical probably of good and evil. There are 2 large cactus with protruding arms, one on each side of the dais, on which the god squats. All this is carved on a hard rock resembling marble. In the opposite corner of the cross hall were found tools of all descriptions, made of copper. These people undoubtedly knew the lost art of hardening this metal, which has been sought by chemicals for centuries without result. On a bench running around the workroom was some charcoal and other material probably used in the process. There was also slag and stuff similar to match, showing that these ancient smelted ores, but so far no trace of where or how this was done has been discovered, nor the origin of the ore. Among the other finds are vases or urns and cups of copper and gold, made very artistic in design. The pottery work includes... I lost my place. Ooh, I'm so sorry.
Include... Oh, honey.
Dad is asking what's going on.
That's all right. Do you think that's probably enough of the whole... And that's still that cave in the Grand Canyon?
Yes, it is.
All about, just about that cave.
Yes,
so that's a lot
it
of
is.
description.
Supposedly also found in the cave were giant skeletons.
Yeah.
Huge giant skeletons, like 3 meters tall. 3? Tall skeletons. They were giants. And he supposedly stood one up and took a picture with it.
Yeah, that's what he found in the Grand Canyon. She just went into detail, like, why is there all that information about what he found in that? That's a news article you read?
Mm-hmm. From the Arizona Gazette in 1909. But the Smithsonian denies any knowledge of this expedition ever taking place. They have no record of it, and they even deny the man's existence.
But it's a newspaper reel.
But the newspaper is in fact real. It happened. They claim it's a sensationalized article.
Because, you know, I'm not going to say it's the same anymore in journalism, you know, because I tried to be one. Like, you had to be a very honest person to work for a newspaper because you were handling your neighbors' private matters and business, and newspapers were really important to people back then. In the community, you didn't have a telephone, you did not have your TV. Right, Unique, you had to have your newspaper. What was going on in town? Who died? If you didn't hear by word of mouth, you had to have your newspaper.
So if they're printing blatant lies, then they're going to catch some sort of hell for it.
I just don't think it's blatant lies.
No. Why would it be? Why?
I think a newspaper article from back then is a pretty good clue that it was a real thing that happened, I think. And there's so many times that it don't even have to be about giants. About the Smithsonian had things and lost them. Stuff that we knew about that they had and they have admitted to losing. So all this stuff that's getting brung up about the Smithsonian hiding stuff about the giants, I really do believe it. If you ask me, they probably have an alien.
That's the case with a lot of those articles I read.
They probably got that.
Like the Smithsonian will get involved, and that'll be the last you hear about this amazing archaeological discovery.
Yeah.
That like blew everybody's minds.
And where's the Smithsonian sticking this stuff? It can't be just one building. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you where they're sticking it.
Unless they got a cave a mile long that we don't know about.
They probably
Where
do.
are they putting this stuff?
Okay, haven't you seen Indiana Jones? You know where they're putting it.
Peach, I'd have to float a river to get to that area. That's likely out for me. The prime of my life is not here. You know,
I'm not really into raging rapids.
On a side note, we have a little aluminum boat, and I really wanted to. We got some rivers by us, you know. I really wanted to just take a fishing day and float our little rivers.
You go be all you can be.
Oh.
You go float that river.
Larry said it ain't gonna be all magical like I have it in my head, but I really wanted to do it.
You're picturing some like Huckleberry Finn. Just rowing along, being calm.
Peach said they have huge underground facilities, several stories deep. Sarah said Grand Canyon's on her bucket list. Well, Sarah, if you want a smaller Grand Canyon, if you go to Colorado, the Royal Gorge, This Yahoo and her sister took this picture where it looks like Haley is hanging off of the Grand Canyon. In my mind, they should not have been taking that picture because she's like dangling and going,
I was
and like hanging on. And I was looking at Facebook, as moms do. Like, when the hell did you take this? And they just laugh. I don't find it funny myself. I have a real fear of heights. And anyway, Royal Gorge, they have is it a trolley? Is it a train? I don't know what it is. Cable car. But you can go across Royal Gorge. And I think you can go down in it too, but that's like I
don't want to go over that thing. You can drive over it, but I really would never want to. Like, never. I don't trust bridges.
Pete said you can't go to the Grand Canyon because black helicopters and weird boats. I knew a guy from Colorado that talked about helicopters like that. And weird boats will come and make you leave or they will arrest your ass. She's serious.
So you're not allowed to just float around the Grand Canyon? Just on your own recognizance? I guess I didn't know that.
Well, there was a treasure that was in the Grand Canyon that everybody tried to find for a long time. I don't think it had anything to do with this hidden city thing.
You talk about like the lost Dutchman's gold? Because that was the superstitions.
There was something that they were looking for. No, it was something in Colorado.
The Dawn Horse? They thought they were going to find like a lost world in the Grand Canyon for a long time.
There were some people that died trying to traverse, even going down that Grand Canyon River.
A lot of people that died.
A lot of people died. Sarah said she's not afraid of heights, just step at the bottom. I did see you saw the Hoover Dam. I don't think I've seen anything really impressive.
Damn.
There's some okay. In Colorado, there's some really cool mountain roads. We would go up this one called Phantom Canyon, and we'd go up or down that way, or we'd go up and down this other one that ran parallel to it called Shelf Road. Shelf Road is called Shelf Road because it is really just a shelf on the side of a little mountain there, and it's super scary. You have to go up a certain way or down a certain way. You want to be next to the mountain when you are driving on that thing, because you don't want to. If you come down the other way, you are on the bad side. You know what I'm talking about. So, and there's etiquette when you're going up and down mountains. If you are going up a mountain, the person coming down the mountain is supposed to stop and make way for you for obvious reasons, because it's harder to go uphill. I highly suggest on your way to Grand Canyon, Miss Sarah, you should go anywhere in Colorado, right through the middle. It's really, really, really pretty. We went to Pikes Peak. I drove up that. Oh, in New Mexico, I drove up a volcano, you guys. An old volcano, Mount Capulan. That was pretty neat. Because Larry and her went up around like the rim of it, and I walked down into the old crater.
You almost got ran over by a herd of deer?
A herd of deer I could have slapped them. They were so close to me.
I keep yawning. I'm sorry.
Pete said the one area where Kincaid discovered all this Egyptian and Buddhist and all kind of different civilization stuff was filled with treasure. So that's when the Smithsonian got involved. You can't go there. They will keep you out or arrest you.
No, I imagine not. There's a bullet with your name on it. Remember they were going to storm Area 51? We told them, they will shoot you. They're not joking. They'll do it. I believe it. Don't go looking for that thing. You will get shot or arrested.
Oh, Pete, I love the mountains. However, there was strange stuff. I told you all the stories we had about Colorado. That Phantom Canyon Road, though. If you should ever go to Colorado, you should take that road in the night, because it almost looks, I swear, Native Americans must have sit around and carved these mountains up in Colorado, because there are so many rocks that look like faces. It's uncanny. Anyway, yeah, it's just beautiful at night. Gorgeous.
It's spooky, though.
Yeah, we used to go up to Cripple Creek in Colorado and watch firecrackers, because every year it'd get hot down there in the lowlands, And up there, it was like 70 degrees during the day or during the night. It was so nice.
It was like 60 at night, 70 during the day. That was how nice it was.
And Pikes Peak sets off 4th of July. Not. For New Year's Eve, they set off firecrackers. I just went to 4th of July. Colorado was cool. Well, after living in Oklahoma, I really loved living there for a little while. Everything's expensive there because it's a tourist state.
Oh, you're basically paying for the view.
Rock City, you can see 7. Listen, I drove all the way up to Pikes Peak. Actually, I didn't drive all the way up. There was like one last parking spot right up to the top, and I just couldn't do it anymore because I was the one driving. So I didn't trust anybody else to take care of my life. So I just chilled out there and looked around. But then later, we took a steam railroad all the way to the top of Pikes Peak. And that was fun. Because we got, you ever heard of a marmot?
Railroad.
You ever heard of, what was it? You yellow-bellied marmot? Yosemite Sam used to say that. Well, they're the little animals, little yellow-bellied marmots.
He said varmint.
I swear it was marmot.
He never said marmot. He said varmint.
Agree to disagree. They're the cutest little things. They look like big old fat beavers with no tails.
They do. They do. They're really cute little things.
And their butts are so big, it looks like they can't even get around.
Tiny little legs.
Sarah said her old man drove her. Or no, you must trust him a lot, you know? I'm like side-eyeing my husband. I think I'll drive.
I was just kind of crouched in the car, like not looking out the windows, going, okay, you know, we're just going to get to the top one way or the other. I'm going to try not to freak out.
Sarah said it was varmint. Marmot.
I told you it was varmint.
But they are called yellow-bellied marmots. I swear they are.
They are. You're not wrong about that. You're just wrong about the fact that Yosemite Sam ever said the word marmot.
Do we do good, guys? We're going to get that laptop. We're going to be stacking files.
I want to take a hot bath.
Trust issues. I identify with that.
Trust issues. She doesn't trust issues. As if I'm lying to you maliciously in front of your friends. I wouldn't do that to you.
The funny thing is, my old man's never wrecked or anything. It's just, I've ridden with him, and I know the way he drives. And if it's going to be a clutch situation, like driving up a volcano or hanging off a shelf road, I want to be I'll know I did everything I could. If he messes up, I'll be looking at him like, why? You know, I knew. Got that little fear factor going on.
Well, I think we've gone almost an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm about to have to sign off. I have to go take care of the
She
birds.
said she'd get out of the car. She's done it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Unique. I'm so happy you came. All of you.
Unique. That's a unique way of spelling it.
Unique. Is that your name, may I ask? Or is that just a unique way to spell unique? Even if it is your name, it's still a unique way to spell unique. And I hope I'm saying it right.
Unique.
Her reading that tip of canoe was really funny. Because I don't know how she said it, but it wasn't quite right.
Tipo canoe.
Tipo canoe.
It's like, we're gonna tip the canoe. Tipo canoe.
Tip of canoe and Tyler too.
Don't laugh at the way I pronounce things, guys. It's always a gamble. You know that. You read something, you're like, okay,
You
you
have a restful night too. I guess we're wrapping up, guys. Oh wait, look at my little fellas. What's a fella and a woman? This is my husband and me. Wait, can you see it?
Hobby Lobby is very dangerous.
There's a delay. Love you guys.
Signing off.
10,
10, 9, 8,